Be sure to join Fox Sports Radio's M-Drive $1 Million Bracket Challenge. That's right, the $1 Million Bracket Challenge. If you fill out a perfect bracket at foxsportsradio.com, and it's happened before, folks, you will win $1 million. Compete against Fox Sports Radio hosts and fellow listeners. The listener in first place, even without a perfect bracket, wins $1,000 in the form of a gift card. Second place gets $300, and third place takes home $200. You can fill out your bracket now and get official rules at foxsportsradio.com. Let's go to guys who aren't brothers, Rob, but they're going to be competing. It's going to be competitive. Down in New Orleans, excuse me, they have a real quarterback. It's not a controversy. I actually think it's a good thing. They're going to have a real quarterback battle, Rob. I think when they start training camp, it's going to be best man win. And they're both very different. Taysom Hill, obviously a runner, although he was accurate. He completed, I think, over 70% of his passes in the 4 games he started last year.
Yeah, but where'd those
still
passes
more
go?
so of a runner. Right. Very short passes and stuff like that. But he's a runner. He had 4 rushing touchdowns in his 4 starts. And then Jameis Winston is obviously more of a prototypical drop-back, strong-armed passer. I think it's going to be good. If I'm Sean Payton, I like the situation I'm in. I mean, obviously, if he was on Russell Wilson's list, if you could get Russell Wilson, you do it. But going to training camp with Jameis and Taysom Hill, I'm cool with that, Rob. I'm cool with that.
Not only am I cool with it, I think Jameis Winston should be the starting quarterback. And if he is, and Sean Payton is smart, I'm telling you, the New Orleans Saints will win the division over the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh,
that's how much
here we go.
I love Jameis Winston. And, Chris, I know everybody wants to point to the interceptions, and I get it, because he said he had like 30 interceptions. 30. Right, which was ridiculous. But if you really look at his career, he had the most passing yards in 2019, most passing attempts. And another thing, he threw like, over 30 touchdowns. I mean, so he had a big
33.
year. 33 touchdowns, but 30 picks, which negates, people don't remember the 33 touchdowns because of the 30 picks. But if you're talking about replacing the Drew Brees I've seen the last couple years, Chris, this would be a major upgrade for that offense and that team with Jameis Winston. I'm not here to trash Drew Brees' career. He had a great career, 20 years. I get all that, all the records he set. But the last couple years, he was a lowercase Drew Brees. He just was.
Well, especially late and in the playoffs.
Right. And so I'm telling you,
season,
Jameis Winston is not. Look at Chris. He already had a Pro Bowl under his belt, 2015. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He set some records in his small amount of time in Tampa Bay. So it wasn't like he was a total bust or he was like Russell with the Raiders, or you know what I mean, like something like that. He was not that. He's a talented guy who, if he could just make some decisions, smarter decisions, and throw the ball out of bounds, Chris, take a sack when there's nothing open. Don't force it into coverage. It's like that's where you become mature. That's all. You got the arm. The one ball that they threw against Tampa Bay in the playoffs, downfield, was Jameis Winston. I got the receiver was open, but Chris, Drew Brees couldn't get the ball down, but Drew Brees couldn't get the ball downfield. I mean, let's be honest. I'm telling you, this is a major upgrade over Drew Brees in his current state. I'm telling you, I love it. Jameis Winston, you heard it first right here on Fox Sports Radio, right here on The Odd Couple. Rob G, mark this down. Jameis Winston is going to lead the New Orleans Saints over his former team, the Tampa Bay Bucks, and win the division. Book it.
Rob Parker, if I wasn't afraid you send me a $37 pair of Jordans, I'd put a Jordan bet on that.
Whatever.
But look, I'm with you in that I like Jameis. I'm not with you. I don't think they'll win the division. I think Tampa Bay will win the division. And last year I picked Tampa Bay not to win the division. I picked them as a wild card, but I thought they'd go on and reach the Super Bowl. Obviously, we know what happened. But I think you went too far. Number one, you went too far in saying they're going to win the division. Number two, I think I'm with you. Jameis should be the starter, and I think he will emerge as the starter. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion, though, in Sean Payton's mind. Remember the guy with the big contract, the bigger contract, I should say, is Taysom Hill.
Who's got the bigger arm?
Jameis's contract is, incentive-driven and all that. I'm just saying that tells me that they're not sold on Jameis. I'm with you. I think Jameis is better. I think he's more suited for a long NFL season. Taysom Hill, and I was excited to watch him, but teams started to figure him out.
Yep, we saw it.
Now, they did, right. They did go 3-1, but look, they beat Atlanta twice, which was horrible. They beat Denver once. So they didn't beat any good teams, and then they lost to Philadelphia in Jalen Hurts' first start. So they were, like we said, they were starting to kind of figure him out, and it wasn't looking like it was a long-term solution for Taysom Hill. So I think the ideal situation for New Orleans is you start Jameis, and then just like you did with Drew Brees the last few years, you bring Hill in for specialty plays. And I think that's what they'll do, and I think that's what will be best for him. I'm with you, though, on Jameis in that. Here's the thing, Rob. First of all, in Tampa, he had 3 head coaches. Lovie Smith, Dirk Cutter, and Bruce Arians. Now, it's hard to have 3 coaches in your first 5 years and shine. It really is. And so that's something that you could say, works in his favor or, should work in his favor now that he's out of that situation. And the thing before Arians with his no risk it, no biscuit, throwing the ball all over the park, Winston wasn't like a turnover machine. He threw his share of picks. Rookie year, 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Okay. But he still, like you said, he made the Pro Bowl that year.
He made the Pro Bowl, Chris. People forget that.
28 touchdowns. Right. 28 touchdowns, 18 picks. I can live with that. Especially, it's only in the last few years where guys have really hardly thrown any picks. So, he threw 11 his third year. And so he is not this guy that's going to throw 25 to 30 interceptions every year. And the hope is that a year under Drew Brees, who was very smart with the football, very cautious, you would hope that taught Jameis Winston something. And you're right in that if he can combine that with his arm and all his physical gifts, then I think they got something there.
I like him a lot,
Teammates
Chris.
seem to like him. Guys seem to rally around. I think he's a little mature. Maybe, he's older now. He should be more mature now. He's been in the league several years. But teammates have always kind of gravitated to him. You know what I mean? Even from college on. So
teammates like him because whenever they have a party, he's always going to bring the crab leg. So I think people would. Okay, sorry about that.
Just like your prediction, you had to go a little too far. I'm with you up. You went way left, my man.
I think people are going to be with me on this. This is a huge upgrade, and I get the sentimental part, Chris, with the Drew Brees. But if you remember, even in that game, they lost the playoff game with the terrible pass interference, Chris. They got the ball back. The game wasn't over there. You know that, right? They got the ball back. Drew Brees couldn't make anything happen.
The defense was all that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Michael Thomas, you would expect him to have a bounce back year, right?
Right. He was terrible this past year.
Yep. Now, Winston could be really good there, and I think Sean Payton quietly is excited, although, again, I don't think it's a done deal, but I just can't. I'm sorry. Taysom Hill is not Lamar Jackson.
He's just not.
Right?
I'm with you.
No,
I'm sorry.
Stop it with
He's good, Chris, for some plays you want to run with him. I can't see him being your starting quarterback every down. Can you?
No. But for like 3 games, maybe 2 games, but 16, 17 this year? No. They figured him out. Heck, they they haven't figured him out, obviously, but they get better, right, at defending Lamar.
Right.
How you think they're going to do with Taysom Hill? So, no, he's not that guy, and I think it'll show this year. But it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Rob is, to use his word, mashugana?
I knew you were going to say
Jameis Winston will lead you. I might not be the only one that says that to you. Will lead New Orleans to the division crown. Your turn to weigh in.
All right, let's kick it off with, is that Jamel in Austin, Texas? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
What's up, man?
Hey, big fan of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Listen, man, I've been a New Orleanian my entire life. Drew Brees, it's sad to see him go, but I feel 100% confident in saying Jameis Winston will be MVP candidate for this next season.
Wow. Chris, you want to say I'm a sugar? No, what about Jamel? Wow. Talk about it, Jamel. Why? You think about the weapons he has, right?
For the brother. I think he's pulling for the brother, personally.
No, the guy is he reminds me so much of Brett Favre, and having Drew Brees as a mentor and having that O-line, if that O-line can keep him safe, there's no reason why he shouldn't be.
He's got weapons.
Well, it's his decision-making.
Right.
And you mentioned Brett Favre, and, Rob, now it's fashionable.
Brett Favre threw more interceptions
right.
than Jameis. I mean, Brett Favre was an interception machine.
Yeah, it was, it was just different back then. It was, quarterbacks were getting rocked. Receivers
Peyton Manning threw more interceptions too his first few years than Jameis Winston. A lot of people did.
Look at a lot of these guys. Back then, that wasn't 33 and 30. 30 is a lot of interceptions. But
30 is a lot, but right.
Yeah,
there were guys who threw 28, 25, big time.
And guys legends who threw more interceptions than touchdowns some seasons. Real talk. So
Daniel in Florida, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Daniel?
Hey, how y'all doing? Rob, you tripping.
Thank you. You say it to him. Mashugana.
Daniel, what?
Use his word.
Let me hear you say it. Mashugana. Can you say it? Say it.
Mashugana.
There we go. That's Yiddish for crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you tripping big time. Jameis might not even win the job, even though I think he'll win the job because Taysom isn't that guy. As you all alluded to earlier about, him going 3-1, but he beat up on bad teams. And that Broncos team got through this part in. They had a practice squad receiver in at quarterback, so remember that part too. But yeah, you tripping. Tampa Bay is literally across the board either equal or better than, the Saints at literally almost every single position. Whether it's that linebacker, whether it's that D-line, whether it's that in secondary, whether it's that quarterback, whether it's that O-line. Only spot that, the Saints have a definitive edge is at running back. Even weapons, Tom Brady has more. So, you tripping.
Tampa Bay's gonna be better.
No way.
Now I think New Orleans could be good, but I don't think they'll be
I think it's a huge upgrade at quarterback over Drew Brees where he was. He was on fumes. Gary in Philadelphia, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Hey man, are you guys smoking crack over there?
Well, hold on, you guys.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Rob. I lived in Tampa for his whole career. I had to move back to Philly to get away from him. Between stealing crab legs, throwing to the other team, eating his fingers. You got to be kidding me, Rob. Okay, kidding me.
Gary, is he an upgrade over Drew Brees? Just answer me that.
Upgrade. I had to suffer and watch this guy. He'd be getting tackled and just throw the ball to whoever would catch it. The man has no brain. There's no way he's going to do well with Sean Payton.
All right, I remember that.
Well, maybe that's why. Rob, let me share this with you. And we talked about how different things were. Now, Roger Staubach, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, right? In everybody's top 10. Wouldn't you agree? He was on the all-century team, all 100 and all that stuff. Rob, in 1974, he threw 11 touchdowns and 15 picks.
Yep,
15 picks.
Yep.
And the next 2 years, he made the Pro Bowl each year. 75, 17 touchdowns, 16 picks. The next year, 14 touchdowns, 11 picks. It was just different. I can go down a litany of legends who
and then
had
you look
similar
at
numbers like
that's why when you look at, like you just gave Starbuck, and then you look at Aaron Rodgers, he had 48 touchdowns and 5 picks. Just think about the ratio.
Well, and I don't want to. I'm not gonna rip Starbuck.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but the accurate, like the
it's
difference,
a whole
right?
different level. Not level. It's just a different game now. All right.